council. Well, I think the constitutional court, but it's called council, for different reasons. And as you know, yes, people will say ECOWAS is 2 plus Buddha, ECOWAS, so don't do this. But every country has their own constitution that we respect. So you don't go into the country and say, no, your constitution is wrong. Constitution is the supreme law of any country. So the constitutional code rule, and those people were qualified. Ideally, amongst them was the former president Laurent Gbagbo, who was disqualified from running. Interestingly, his wife was qualified, and she was one of the candidates in the
Can she
election.
run on Bagbo's
No,
party
no,
ticket?
no.
She established her own party?
Yeah, she had her own party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
woman,
So she
yeah.
was opposition to Bob. That's his ex-wife, actually, not his current wife. His ex-wife. When he left prison.
Oh, Simeon Davos?
Yeah, the divorce. Matter of fact, he remarried. He has a new wife. Yeah, he divorced Lauren Bagwell, and so I know that the election generally was like every other election. There will be tension. There will be um, misconduct from citizens, partisans, and all of those things. But by and large, the election was peaceful. Yes, there were uh, some reports of death. I think up to 3 or 4 or so. There were reports of arrest. Police arrested some people, the security apparatus, but those things were not equivalent to affecting the overall average of the election or the result of the election. So yes, President Ouattara won the election, and he's now serving. He will be now be serving his uh, second term in the new republic and fourth term as president of Cote
Is it the
d'Ivoire.
funnel?
Yes, except they change the constitution again.
Because
So they
I wanted to
changed.
ask whether he gave Ekwa any assurance alone. I'm not going to go further with the thing. Because it used to be what, 2, right?
2 years.
He changed it 3, then he went to 4.
No, he didn't change it 3. So what happened? It was 2 terms. It's still 2 terms. The presidency is
It's
still
still 2
two
terms.
terms. Yes. So what happened was that in his second term of his first term, he changed the constitution of Cote d'Ivoire. Um, Cote d'Ivoire now has a House of Senate and the House of
Or
the National Assembly.
Senate.
So representative and Senate. They didn't have it before. They introduced it now. So the Senate there is more like an elder
So, in
council.
other words, it became a new republic.
Thank you. They now have a vice president. They didn't have vice president before. So when they changed the constitution and went to the legislature, passed on, they had a referendum, and the referendum was passed. It was declared a new republic.
So, the other 2 terms he served were
That the old republic.
that the old
I
republic.
don't feel
Now
it.
that new republic.
New republic, and then so some countries, smartly, some countries in the constitution. I need to talk to some, and I won't speak with much authority on this, but I told you in Liberia there's a provision, I think, or when you have those constitutional change sometimes in some countries, in some jurisdictions, you don't benefit from the change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But for him, he benefited.
But in some countries, it's silent. The law is silent on it, so you benefit from the change. So, because there was a new republic, he ran first term in the new republic, he won, and then he ran again for the second term, he won, and except they changed the constitution again, which we don't think they will be doing. But yes, he won the second term in the new
So, what,
republic.
4, 5 year term?
Oh, five.
5. Where's this guy? Where's Gen Soro?
He's in Mali. He's in Mali, and he didn't interfere. He wasn't a
He's
part
in
of
what?
this
Exile?
election.
He's prevented from coming back home?
Not that I know of, but I know that he's in Mali, and we spoke to people, the security apparatus there. Whilst we're there, we spoke to opposition leaders or state actors, and it was claimed that he was in Mali.
Except that there were a lot of assumptions about the election in Sierra Leone. I mean, in Arago, sometimes it's done here too. Oh, something will happen. But, and I was following you the way Abidjan was so quiet and so calm. Most of the time when these violence don't start in the capital, sometimes they don't spill over anywhere. I mean, it can go anywhere.
Surprisingly, the only hot spot, a major spot that had issues during the election was Yamoussoukro, where they burned the election office.
Who's
there.
stronghold?
That was it. That was what puzzled everyone. okay? Because Yamoussoukro was shared between President Ouattara and former President Gbagbo. All right, and then so you're right, it would be because of that, because they both it was a hot spot. Um, in Boaké and other areas, Man, Danade, there was little tension, but not much. In the north, it was overwhelmed by President Ouattara. That's where he's from. In Abidjan, there was, but let me state there were over 700 arrests made in Abidjan. So young people or youth that got in the street that they saw as threat to the peace or to the electoral process, they were arrested, and that accounted for over 700 persons were arrested.
Who took the second place to Ouattara?
Madam Babo.
Simeon Babo.
Yeah.
With a very small, because he
very,
won with what, 87?
Yeah, almost 90%.
Almost 90% of the vote.
Yeah.
It's like you're playing football, you take it, you get run away with it from the field. Is Gbagbo in Cote d'Ivoire?
Yeah, he's in Cote d'Ivoire. The matter of fact, the day before the election, he announced that he's retiring from politics. That he's no longer going to get involved into politics. He's out of politics. He will live a peaceful life. The man, he even encouraged the young people to get off the streets, and all that. Cote d'Ivoire, and without signing as a PR firm for them, it has changed.
You think so?
It's changed. I mean, the level of development, infrastructure, the government, not Chinese or Americans or French, the government of Cote d'Ivoire is building like a 5-story buildings, like a ministerial complex on their own. They've increased the salary, civil servant salary. They have the highest
I think
growth
they have a
rate.
big economy.
Yeah, in the region, the economy is the biggest, in West Africa. So
They've
a
passed
lot has
Nigeria
happened.
now.
Yeah, so people now are saying, with all of this, should we afford to go back and destroy our country? So it's not just the politics of it; it's a national flavor. It's that national obligation to protect what they have built over the years, and I think it plays a lot with nationalism.
When I covered the Ghanaian election, so I could know a little bit about how the processes are. But for the benefit of the people listening to you, what do you look up for when you go as members of the ECOWAS Parliament to observe elections in different countries? What do you look up for, and what is the reporting channel? For example, if something was wrong, how do you do it?
Most times, Clarence, we mix election observation with election monitoring. Say, oh, you're going to monitor election, no, go to observe the election. So when you observe an election, you just look. If something happens, you put it in your report. You don't go there to grant interview, to go
To
try
condemn
to
people.
dispute, condemn people, interfere in this. You go to observe. So election observation mission, and where we set it up, we have 3 different groups when we go into an election. For example, there will be a presidential election in Guinea, Conakry, on December 28th. All right. So now we are already sending in our long-term observer. So the long-term observation mission will begin to go to Guinea to start doing a lot of work. So you take the map of the country, you do it into zones. So you have like this election in Cote d'Ivoire.
Because I know you went to Cote d'Ivoire before.
Yes. So we did, pre-election observation mission. Then you have the long term. You get briefings from the long term. Then you have the long term. You have the short term, and you have the experts that's still on the ground. They're still there. They have to gather all the reports and then submit the report to us. So whilst we're there, we go through all of the zones. All of the regions in Cote d'Ivoire was covered. And interestingly, this election in Cote d'Ivoire, it was a joint AU ECOWAS mission. So the AU didn't send a separate mission or separate head of mission. Thank God you went to Ghana, so you know what I'm talking about. So you have an overall head of mission, and then you have like the parliamentary delegation, the delegation from the Court of Justice and all of that, but all under one umbrella. So this time around, the AU and ECOWAS had a joint
Who
team.
headed that?
The former president of former vice president of Nigeria, or Sinjo, suddenly gave me a hard time sometimes pronounce, but he was the head of mission. Yeah, he was the head of mission for the election, and we had over 265 observers in Cote d'Ivoire. All right, and we're in all regions in Cote d'Ivoire. There were some Liberians there. I saw a lot of Liberians there. For the first time, also ECOWAS introduced the youth network, where we had some young people paid by GTZ, the German firm, and they recruited some young people, about 25 young people from around the region. I think about 4 or 5 young Liberians were there that I
From your
met. All
observation,
that.
Senator Snow, what did they vote on? What were the debates?
The bread and butter issue. The bread and butter issue. The fact that it has increased the salary of civil servant, it had a major impact. Infrastructure development. The infrastructure in Cote d'Ivoire today, Cote d'Ivoire has more overhead bridges than any West African country, including Nigeria, or let's say capital. So let's say Abidjan,
Yeah,
more
Abidjan.
than Abuja or Lagos. Okay, uh, economic growth is on an increase. Um, uh, Education sector, healthcare, it's gone to first class. I mean, Africa has changed. So when you talk to any Ivorian, they tell you that over the last 10 years, the development that they've seen in Cote d'Ivoire, stability, investment, different things that they can count on. It was just, don't forget, President Ouattara has gone through a lot of crisis in Cote d'Ivoire. He's been referred to as a Burkinabe, like stranger, people are referred to, even Liberia will call some Liberian stranger in certain places, But President Ouattara was accused of not being an Ivorian as a Burkinabe.
Yeah.
And there's some Ivorians you talk to, they say, well, if he's a Burkinabe and he has done this in our country, they would rather a Burkinabe take it. Those kind of things
Those
you
kind of
heard.
conversations.
Even the opposition. I mean, we met with one of the female candidates. We met with all of the opposition candidates, of course. So, like, what we do, like you asked earlier, you have the head of mission, the overall head. Most time you have the AU, EU, have a joint team. So, one person from each head of mission. So, I head in the parliament. So, we go as a group where we visit the high profile people, the main opposition leaders, the current leaders, all this kind of thing. And we visited one of the opposition leaders. She said to us, look,
I'm just thinking how Mandabio is going to work around that.
Sierra Leone, the party discipline in Sierra Leone is different from Liberia.
Really?
Very deeply rooted. As a matter of fact, in our region, I don't know of any country that the political values is so deep compared to Sierra Leone. You will go into Sierra Leone, they tell you that there's a SLPP town. SLPP will win in that town, but 99%. If you go into Makina, somewhere, okay, and they tell you this is an APC base, APC will win 99.9% in that town. You will go to President Bill. In one of my conversations, he told me one day, he said, Snow, he said the politics in Sierra Leone is so deep that if an SLPP man dies and the APC man goes to that funeral, the SLPP people will ask the APC man out. What you can do to our funeral?
To the extent you can wear red in certain place, you can wear
The
green.
matter of fact, when going to observe election, I've been in Sierra Leone now 2 times to observe election and headed a delegation twice. One with Dr. Sawyer and the other one with the same Nigeria former vice president, 2 times in Sierra Leone. In our administrative note that you receive before going for the election, you are asked not to have red or green with you. If you do anything red as an observer, international observer, they link you straight to the APC. Anything on you green, they link you to the SLPP.
Is that how it goes?
It's very deep. Sierra Leone politics is so deep you wouldn't imagine it. The election over and you didn't get the required vote as a party, so they will burn your whole house down. They will burn people. It's serious. Sierra Leone is so deep you wouldn't imagine it. So
he's going to struggle.
President Bill will depend on his party nomination. So whoever claims the flag bearership of that party.
Of course, no, the
be
man will
his
get
candidate.
influence, man.
He will.
The
The
man will
matter
get
of
influence.
fact, at one point, his wife, Madam Fatima Bill, expressed interest.
And
to
she's so
contest.
influential. I follow her.
Very influential. She's one of the most influential first ladies in the region. Very influential. I heard that she has now dropped her interest, but I'm sure she may have a candidate in the party. But you'd be surprised, for example, some of the people that Madam First Lady supported for the party leadership, they did not win. And even when her husband spoke to the parliament one time, she accused some parliamentarians, of disrespecting her. Sierra Leone politics is deep, It's very deep. So yes, the APC, for example, they have a young guy who was in charge of anti-corruption called Ade Macaulay. He's one of those Samora Kamara. He
Yeah,
ran
Samura
2 times.
Kamara, Dr. Samura Kamara.
Yeah, he's still up there.
He's an APC.
APC, yeah. Chenomba ran with.
Chanamba is the former information minister.
No. The
it's a
one
different one.
who was 2 times running mate to Samora.
Okay.
It's called Chano Manjoba. He's Fuller. He was deputy speaker in the parliament. Now he and Samora are split. The two of them from the
How
same
influential
APC.
is Tunins?
Very influential.
He's an SLPP.
SLPP, very influential, and he been really making some great headway.
As I see the SLPPT between he and the current vice president. I mean, that's my perception.
Some people believe the chief minister.
Okay.
The chief minister.
Who do they call the chief minister in Sierra Leone?
So that was introduced by President Bio, by President Mada Bio. They don't have prime minister, but they have chief minister. So it's more like a director general of the cabinet.
Director of the cabinet.
Yeah, something like that.
Can I see them talk a lot about the chief minister?
Yeah, he's a young,
when
very
he going
sharp, very
is,
yeah. So a lot of people are.
I think Mada Bio going from somewhere, out of the country, out of London. I follow their politics.
You're right. When he got his second term, he brought him in.
Yeah.
Very young, very sharp. Tunis is the advantage with Tunis, and again, I don't want to be seen as taking sides.
The man are your man.
Tunis,
Man.
yeah, he's my
Everybody
friend.
get
Full disclosure, he's my very good friend.
Yeah,
we talk even last night we talk. So he cut across. He has a lot of friends in the APC.
That's what I heard about
friends
him.
in the SLPP, and last week he gave President Bio $50,000 to help the fight against Kush.
He's representing the Bull era.
Yes, yeah, Boda. You know a man from Cape Town.
Really?
Yeah, his mother is from Cape Town.
Wow.
He gave the party $100,000 2 weeks ago.
That he answer, so he acting there. He tell the better.
He's a first cousin of the deputy minister of foreign affairs, Ibrahim. Yeah, that's the first cousin.
Oh,
Yeah, he has Tunis. He's half Liberian, half Sierra Leone. The matter of fact, in Sierra Leone, one time he ran and he was taken to court that he's not a Sierra Leonean, he's a Liberian. And he won the case.
So the thing all over.
Yeah.
okay. Senator Edwin Snowe of Bombing is our guest this morning. We're talking a lot about regional politics. Let's come back home here now. I see your colleague, your regional colleague, Amara Connor posted something about the public debate today about the role over there. Have you read what he said? And what do you think about the public debate today and the awarding of the contract, whatever?
Again, in the spirit of full disclosure, Amara said that Amara Connor happens to be one of my closest allies in the Senate. Mm-hmm. So we work together very closely. We compare notes on a lot of issues. And yes, he shared his notes with me. And I read his notes on Facebook. And I fully agree with him. Most of the points there. As a matter of fact, he's been doing some analysis that I show he was discussed today. What it cost us to do the role in Lofa on the President Salif, the first United Party 1 and 2 administration, and what it's going to cost us to do this new role. We want the road done. It's in our interest. I'm a senator of Bombing County. I have investment in the county. I look forward to going and return to the country over the weekend and run straight to Bombing. We want the road to be done. But at what cost to the Liberian people? That's our concern. So if we're talking about the monies we're talking about and what it's going to cost us to fix the road, let's see if we can also study what alternatives we may have available to us. So again, I want to commend former Pro Tem, Senator Abbott Chair. He's the chairman of the Public Works Committee. I co-chair that committee with him. And we'll be having a public hearing today to just hear from the state actors. What is it going to cost the Liberian people to face this rule? Yes, we want rule, but at what cost? So Amara is on the point. He also comes from Bapolo. He's very concerned. The monies we're spending, we can use the same amount to even continue the road to Bapolo. He regularly said in his note, as you know, the Western Region Caucus have divided the county into sub or interest group of areas of interest, where Bombing will be seen as the educational hub, Rabosport, the tourism sector hub, and then Bapolo, the health, taking care of the health side. And we believe that Amara and I, as you know, I chair the Hydrocarbon and Energy Committee in the Senate, and we both have been engaged also with LEC to do additional expansion of electricity into Bombing County and then as far as Bapolo County. So he's concerned about having electricity into Bapolo. He's concerned about the road network, and he believes with the money we're spending on that road, if we have a fair deal, you can even
It can extend
expand it
into
into
Bapolo.
Bapolo. So he's talking about due diligence, for example. We need to know how is the procurement process done. We need to know what's the track record of the company. We want to know if it's a concessional loan or it's just what are we doing? What's the interest rate? What's the value for money? So there's a lot of questions to be asked. Don't get us wrong. We want the road done,
On the road.
but
That's a
at
big.
what
That's a big
cost?
picture. Yesterday, former House Speaker, like you are, Fonanti Kofa was here, and we talk a lot. Snow, are you following the debate on this proposed Oranto deal? Do you have a definite position, or you keep a cool yet?
Well, thanks to my colleagues in the Liberian Senate who asked me or elected me, or pro tem appointed me, whichever nomenclature we use, or entrusted me to chair the committee on hydrocarbon energy and environment at the Liberian Senate. And as chair of the hydrocarbon committee, I joint chair I'm the joint chairman of the committee that will be looking at the Oranto deal, along with Senator Nemegu Batikwa, who is on concession, Honorable Prince Moe, who is on Ways and Means, will look at the financial component, and Honorable Senator Augustine Chie to look at the legal side of it. As joint chair
Anyway,
of the
you
committee,
can make no
I
further
have
comment.
formed no opinion on this matter.
I know that.
But what is interesting is that I will be listening to everybody. And for me, everybody will make sense until we can put all of it in one basket and filter it. So I listened to the former speaker yesterday. I read someone like Amla Mame post
Yeah.
on this matter. I've read the hit back from Councillor Kano Barbala. I've read other, so I'm reading a lot and listening a lot, And at the end of the day, I can assure the Liberian people. I mean, I know people doubt us, our ability. Last time I was listening to Spoon, someone I knew from nowhere, he said, oh, the guys are seeking in corruption, Snow is corrupt. So they will just pass a deal, not even kind of, And I just want to show our people that we will do due diligence. The issue that have come more of the deal, it's not about what NOCA or LPRA wrote in the deal. It's what Oranto did in Liberia in the past during the United Party
I think
led
people
government.
people are more about its track record.
The track record in United Party 1 and 2. All right. So on the regime, because most time when I hear my friends from United Party talking, they separate the Joe Boyka United Party from the Ellen Selly United Party. But it one United Party. So during the first regime, first and second term of United Party, this guy came to Liberia. He got an oil black, he flipped it, he made so much money. But interestingly, there have been some members of the rescue mission in the legislature that have raised issues about this deal. So it's not seen as a partisan thing.
It's
It's
not
bad,
a
it's
party
a bad partisan
protection kind of
approach.
thing.
Yes. So we look at it, we tear it apart, we do due diligence, we see the track record. Don't forget, a lot of things happen like that. Selcom was sold to Orange. There was capital gain. What happened to it? So a lot of these kind of transactions have gone through in Liberia. Total sold to Connex, or Saint Darby sold to Mano Plantation. So a lot of those kind of things have happened in Liberia, and we need to find out what our law says and what has happened and how can we strengthen the law. So again, with the substance of the agreement, I form no opinion. As a joint chair, I have to listen more. I tell people you cannot be an activist and a leader. You got to choose one. In this case, I'm the leader there. I cannot be leading the
activist.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Senator Edwin Snowe, Puma FM in bombing is relaying this edition of the show. Melissa Roberts and the rest of the guys there, thank you ever so much for all you do for Liberia through Puma FM in bombing county. Senator Snowe, final question before probably we take to the lands. Where's this your issue with your report at the Senate with the Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism? Has it come from committee room?
So this is a grave issue, and like I've always said, this is an issue that it's disheartening. That when you're in a political space, you make a statement. Politicians have enough reason to criticize the statement, like the statement I made. But when the statement is doctored and changed to a whole new statement against you, and it being used against you from the state platform from where I pay my taxes for people to do that job, and it's being used against you, is grave. And let me say this for the public to hear today. I wrote the Senate. The pro tem was in her leadership when other senators were very concerned about this matter. We invited the Minister of Information. He came to our open forum in the Senate, and all the Minister of Justice, and admitted that what he wrote was not what I said, but he was under instruction to do it.
He said that?
Yes. And the Senate now told him, with what you are seeing to us, then you have to make sure you make some correction. Find a way, let's correct this because it's affecting the reputation of our colleagues. And this could be any other senator for this matter. That has been more than 3 months now. Nothing has happened. I've continuously said it. It's almost coming to low like a song. But you can rest assured I won't drop this matter. I will follow it to its logical conclusion. If it means,
what more do you want? I mean, he could just come and apologize.
Like
you said, if he said he was under instruction, and I'm sorry. I mean, did the committee call him back to say,
The Senate have not followed up. I've raised the issue with the Senate. Even when we opened the last time, I raised it on the floor. We've not called him back. But this matter won't be swept under the carpet. You can rest assured. We will reach a logical conclusion. If it means we'll go to court to clear my name, I will do that. But I will clear my name. So, accusing a citizen, of trying to destabilize a country is no small thing. It's very serious. And these are things that we suffered in the past. Look, there would be
the Minister of Information could argue that, look, I'm sorry, but I spoke like a politician, man. I didn't mean any harm to Snow.
I've always said, Minister of Information is my very good friend. And I tell people we should not allow the 6 years of stewardship of politics to derail many years of friendship, Clarence. The Minister of Information, he doesn't call me Snow. He calls me J.U. That's my childhood name. I don't call him P. I call him Matthew. We know each other personally. We're friends. So no degree of politics or protecting your job should make you to write something that your friend wants to destabilize the country. Because you say you got instruction from the executive mansion. Who in the mansion, he didn't say. All right? I showed some alive, some dead, like Herman Costa said the other day. Okay? But who gave you that kind of instruction to accuse someone of trying to destabilize the country and prevent investors? The only thing they were targeting, let's hit him from the ECOWAS side to get him from the ECOWAS parliament. That was the strategy. Let's go there, let's link ECOWAS to the whole thing, let's get him from there, then it will make it feel better. It doesn't work that way. You don't have to lie on someone because you want to get them from somewhere.
Okay, sure.
It's hurting me, nothing's been done, but trust me, I will reach a logical conclusion on this matter.
Okay, Senator Edwin Snowe, another guy that I like, that I follow so much. You need to tell him. There's this opposition guy from Ghana, Markin, right? Yeah, from the opposition party. I like his. I like his persistency.
Yeah.
I like him. I really like him. I like his style of politics.
He used to be the majority leader. Okay. He's now the minority leader in the Ghanaian parliament.
The guy is
a lawyer. Yeah, well,
he's a lawyer.
Yeah, he's a lawyer. Very
he will lead his colleagues. They will sit on the floor. They will protest, and he's all over the place. Okay. Senator Edwin Snowe is here, 0777700099 and 5555995995. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Brother Clarence, and good morning, dear listeners. Good morning, the Honorable.
Yeah?
Yeah, Honorable, he said everything I'm listening to. Meaning the information minister and his deputies, they always coming over here to insult all us leaders, every past leader and present leader, anything you say about the government, they will go to that area, they will have press conference, they will say about it. Some of man, I want for you to step up your game. Don't forget about it. Make sure you call that minister. You are asking, when you not say anything, you carry to court, because you don't do that all the time. It will be here, they'll be doing it as game. They'll be everything. Anybody want to talk against the government, the moment you talk against the government, here, they'll go to have press conference, they criticize you, they accuse you,
yeah, but criticism, people can criticize people that are on there. Hello?
Good morning, Dr. Clarence Jackson. Let me say good morning to Senator Edwin Snowe.
Good morning.
Thank you. This is activist Nakli Render. And I do join you this morning from Luda office in West Point, Liberia United for Justice and Accountability. Two questions to Honorable Edwin Snowe. Honorable Edwin Snowe, are you aware that there's a global warming, nation, country arming themselves as it relates to preparation for World War III? What do I mean by that? Of recently, our eastern country, you got Kenya. Kenya was giving approximately over 150 million weapons from Russia. Today, the Egyptians are buying.
But how does that conform to our discussion, my man?
I'm coming up. Yes, they have on peace and security. So on the basis of I'm asking as a country like Liberia here, what are we doing to build up our security as it relates to military strength? We don't have boat, we don't have ammunition, we don't have nothing yet. I believe at that point in time, Liberia should be thinking about investing more money in.
Okay, thank you, Chief. I don't get it, but anyway, I respect your opinion. Hello?
Good morning, parents.
Good morning.
This is Lorenzo Prince Boga from the ELW community.
Yeah, Lorenzo.
Let me say thanks to my boss, Honorable Snowe, for his deliberation. I just want to ask, Honorable Snowe, do you really get tired? Because the kind of travel you do in the South region, the work you do for bombing, for Liberia, do you really get tired at times? And secondly, is there anything that you think we can adapt from the South region when it comes to elections? Is there anything that we can adapt as a country, Liberia in particular? Is there anything that we can adapt, or
Thank you, Lorenzo.
are there things that we cannot bring to our country as well?
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, people, Clarence.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to us. Edwin Snowe. Yeah, actually, Snowe, let me apologize on behalf of the Liberian government, for repetition, why you just explained. They have any man, honestly. Yeah, but however, Snowe, who are taking you by what you say on national radio, yeah, saying that you want for this government to feel so that we the Liberian people can support it. You know, you're one of those persons who have served in Liberian government for long, and you have followers in Liberia. You believe in you in Liberia. So everything you say, it becomes a policy in our country. I can say this, and you're aware, you know that.
No, they may say anything, why would we get policy? The only president can talk, it become policy, my man.
No, no position.
Man, it's no toy, not policy, you boy. Need that one. It's no toy, not no policy. That only His Excellency President Boaga can toy, it become policy. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Jackson.
Good morning.
Yeah, here is the Bachelor Chief from the Council of Johnsonville, and let me appreciate the diplomat in studio, the Great Senator of the Republic of Liberia, and let me say thank you, Senator Snowe. You know, like Senator Snowe mentioned about Speaker Phillips, I got moved in Liberia this morning. Now, it was surprising to know that the first time the young people got recognition at the level of the F-class parliament, where some of us had the opportunity to speak at the parliament in Abuja, and that was like where it was through the police administration. And let me say thank you for Senator Snow's recommendations. But our concern, again to Senator Snowe, is the issue of the young people concerned on the establishment of the F-class parliament that is right on the table. What is the police people is doing about this? Because everything is quiet. Just we continue down what aspire. Again, thank you, and hope to hear from the Senator.
Okay, ECOWAS Youth Parliament. They get Mano River Union Youth Parliament. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Jackson.
Good morning. The caller from Minnesota. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Mr. Jackson, I'm Thomas William. Mr. Jackson, I'm a little bit confused. I need clarity.
Okay,
are you relaying on this platform? Are you relaying your show?
What do you mean?
Are you broadcasting directly from the Facebook, or are you relaying from any other platform?
I'm in studio, broadcasting from right here in studio.
Yeah, because sometimes I thought it was the problem from my end, but I asked most of my friends listening to the program can be reversed sometimes. Sometimes you keep repeating something that we have previously listened to, and it has the last screen you can forward and rewind. It's just looking funny, not let people. So sometimes I'm afraid whether I'm live on the program because I was listening to Honorable Edwin Snowe in the studio.
Edwin Snowe is still here. You are the first person international caller I'm hearing this from. Okay, so but our technicians will have to check. Thank you for raising it. Yeah, we'll have to check. But you can make your point.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Thomas William calling from Minnesota. I want to extend my greeting to the senator in studio. Oh, you know, I was fortunate to live in Africa for more than 10 years. The issue of Ouattara is a long-standing issue. I think I've learned that it even for only $10 US, the $10 CFE, but because of the same policy of Burkina Faso, I think they got rid of the $10 when he has so much political ambition. When we go to the issue, the behavior of Alassane Ouattara is not a behavior that only the presidency of Liberia should adapt or should imitate or emulate. Right? It should be emulated by all Liberia, including the very senator in studio. That attitude of nationalism and patriotism, it should be exhibited by all Liberians. The senator in studio is the first person who should learn from Alassane Ouattara. This senator promised us so many reforms. This senator came from district number 6, and we have problem with him all the time saying district number 6. This senator promised us that he was going to make sure he transform or reform the MPAD, that he served as one of the supporters of APM terminal. He was showing in studio, sharing laughter to encourage to pass the APM terminal D. When we raised the issue when you're going to Bomika, he apologized and he told the Liberian that if he enter in the Senate, it's going to be one of the major things on your agenda to make sure you make that correction. Up to now, we are about roughly 4 years and nothing has been done to transform or reverse. Now, by APM Terminal D, now continue to impose hard time on our economy. You ship car, you buy car in America for $1,500. It gets to Liberia Post, they tell you to pay $3,000 for the car, you bought $1,000. So the senator in studio has to follow the full steps, a good example of Ouattara, and not only the president, if everybody, if all Liberians follow the full step of Alassane Ouattara, Liberia will be transformed. So I'm still...
Thank you. Liberia will be transformed. We hold you there. We can take like two more, then we'll go straight to Snow. Hello?
Yeah, Clarence, how you doing?
I'm good.
This is Johansson F. Weah.
Yes, sir.
You know, there are two concerns. One, Honorable Snow, your presentation is very brilliant, and I admire you. You are one of the longest serving government officials we have in the country. Your experience, you go to Aricos, you go to Nigeria, you interact with the people, you see how the people country developing, but when it comes to Liberia, your input and output in Liberia is not representing the representation you are making out there.
For example,
I said this to me. One, you on record of bringing your investor, telling Liberian people you brought investor in the country, they left you under the Palava Hall. Two, you on record of initiating a discussion to bring investment in this country on MOU. Three, you on record of apologizing to the Liberian people about your involvement with the agreement at the port there. The next thing is, you are a politician. Your statement was interpreted by the information minister. Now you think that you want to... Was it the information minister that told you to talk on school to say you want government to fail? If you say you want government to fail, the interpretation of that statement, you can't hold anybody reliable for it.
Okay, so we can just take one more. We can take one more call, and then we call a press, and then we'll go back to Senator Snowe to respond to some of your concerns that you've been raising right here. Let's take this as a final call. Hello?
Thank you.
Yeah.
What? I'm on. Well, I'm Musa Kone.
Yeah, Musa.
And I am one of Senator Snowe's biggest admirers. And I say this from the bottom of my heart. I think Honorable Snowe is one of, if not the best, that we have right now in current leadership. Even though I have my big brother, I'm representing Liberia to the fullest. And it's difficult, but we have to look at representation. I know everybody wants bridge, everybody wants school, everybody wants, but Senator Snowe, you are adequately, sufficiently, maturely, diplomatically representing Liberia. We may not see that dividend because maybe you're not building roads, you're not building schools, but this is the kind of leadership that we need. People that can ably represent your country. And Honorable Snowe, if I am not overstating what I wanted to say, I admire you and I appreciate you, and I think you are doing extremely well. I just wanted to say thank you and
Musa.
Congratulations.
So we go back to him. I'm sorry, I'm not accepting any calls again. Yes, Senator Snowe, we come back.
All right, thank you, Clarence. I tried to take notes. I hope I'll be able to address all of them.
Yeah, we got 4 minutes. You can do that.
Don't worry, I won't need to, even though you're cut off 2 times, went to my time, no problem. So let me say thanks to the callers.
It's so good you get rid of things, so you know what rid of things can go through.
Let me say thanks to the callers, Clarence. But Prince called from EWA and talked about being tired and all of that. Service, service is a great responsibility. And sometimes when you are called to serve among citizens, over 5 million citizens, and you are given that space, you must give it your best. So sometimes we put our all into it. Yes, you get tired as a human being, but you put all into it. But interestingly, he talked about what could we adapt. Liberia and Senegal and Ghana, today the electoral system is seen as the best in our region. The way is the pre-election and election day and then post-election. So I think we are doing okay. We just need to work on maybe the issue of trucking, the biometric system. We need to work on that. In other countries that they have adapted something that we could look at in Liberia, for example, in most countries, all the security apparatus will vote the day before election. So that on election day, they are deployed around the country to provide the services or vote, wherever they are deployed. Maybe that's something we could work on. The issue of the Ministry of Information, yes, like someone said, the last caller said, because I say I want the government to be one term, so the Ministry of Information are right to lie on me. I disagree. Even when President Weah was in the opposition, he led a rally for a one-term regime of the CDC. So I owe no apology for saying I want this government to be one term. I'm an opposition. So if saying you want one term is equivalent to you saying you want to destabilize the country, then it's unfortunate. Then people want to destabilize the country during the CDC administration. The other issue, the guy talked about wanting to be like Ouattara. He's right. But you know what? Ouattara was Prime Minister of Cote d'Ivoire. We honor President
Bédier.
Okay? And what Cote d'Ivoire did over those years, they invested in education. When you educate your people, they will get to you making them more Ouattaras. What have I done in that regard? I'm not telling you what I will do. Open the land and call Bomi Community College, for example. Bomi Community College have about 500 students, okay? Plus minus 500 students. Of those 500 students, 100 of them on my scholarship, fully paid. So 100 students at that school, I'm sponsoring them on my scholarship. I don't even know I don't know 99% of them, I don't know them. But when you sponsor them and they get education, they will contribute to society. That's my way of being Ouattara. 300 international students in India now on my scholarship, getting the degree, the be graduating this year, early next year. That's my way of acting like Ouattara. This year, we provided vacation job for 375 students in Bomi County to give them package change to return to school. It's my way of being a Ouattara. So you said, I won't be able to build roads and build skyscrapers and do this and do that, but I have contributed, and I will continue to contribute. I want to publicly thank Musa Khan. He's always been consistent about it, and sometimes even when surprisingly, which you may not know, or he didn't say on the air, sometimes when I slip, he called me and said, "Big brother, I admire you, but this other thing I don't think is right." And I think we need more of those kind of people in society so that we can be able to work with them.
Senator Snowe, thank you so much.
still
Thank
got
you
2
for
minutes,
always
eating into
coming.
my
The
2
time,
minutes, no problem.
finished, Chief. Just
2
give her your
minutes, stay
party
there, yeah.
comments. Your party comments.
By the way, Clarence, again, I want to thank you for coming back on the air. I think you've done well as a manager of the station. I'm always proud of you, always listen to you, always
Thank you,
follow
sir.
you, and I'm very proud of you. I hope you keep on the hard work. I also want to thank your team here at the OKFM. I want to thank the Minister of Foreign Affairs or the President as a chief architect of foreign policy with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for the visa extension of the U.S. Embassy. I also want to thank the U.S. government for that extension, even though I think we deserve more. Ghana, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Senegal, they're still getting 5-10 years. So 3 years, yeah, but we can do more. I hope we can now look at the shelter arrangement at the embassy. People going for visas, staying under the sun or the rain. I hope we can also look at that. And the Oriental deal, I want the citizens to be aware, Oriental and Total, that the legislature will do its best to give us the best package. If it's a good deal, we pass it. If it's a bad deal, we make it good. We won't pass a bad deal for the Liberian people. And of course, the road network, as stated by Senator Aaron Conner, will do our due diligence to make sure that we get the best price value for money. Thank you
Bommy,
very much.
Senator Edwin Snowe. I was here as our guest. We are taking a break. Tomorrow, we'll be back here again, man. Thanks to all of you. Not really a break, but we are drawing down the curtains to be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.